Hello, video diary of 2020. This is going to be my last video diary of this year. It's currently New Year's Eve in Bali for me, and I'm at my little house in Ubud in the rice fields, and we're about to head into 2021. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon right now, and if you watched my last video on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you'll know that that was a first for me, and this is another one. I have chosen to spend this New Year's Eve completely alone. This feels really important for me and something that I really want to give to myself and do for myself. I'm going to spend the night in my own company, my own ritual, my own ceremony, time of reflection, dancing around with music on, moving my body, just having a good time on my own. And this feels really important, as the last few months have really had a huge theme and a huge lesson for me around regaining sovereignty and independence and a strength within myself that I kind of lost along the way over the last quite a few years. I was in a very long-term relationship. I was engaged. I've been in that relationship since I was 18, just before I turned 19 years old. So it was a very long time. And although we've been separated for a while, in that time there's been lots of communication and lots of hope of coming back together. And this year called for the completion of that hope and called for me to really let go. And I don't really want to share too much more than that. It's something that feels quite private to me in terms of sharing on the internet, and it also involves someone else. So there's bits that I've shared, and I've shared quite a bit, in writing over Instagram these last couple of months and weeks. But yeah, I don't feel to disclose the whole story and the whole journey. But it did call for completion and letting go. And so a few months ago, I was in a place of intense emotional pain, and it was a very, very challenging time for me. And I've been really working at overcoming that and letting go and just healing. And so for me to arrive in this place now where I am so content to be on my own, and so looking forward to calling in this new year on my own, and laying the foundation of this strength and sovereignty and independence, and really solidifying that after what I've been through in these last few months. It feels important for me, and it feels like a really good thing for me to do. So that's how I am spending my New Year's. Else do I really feel to share? For anyone spending this time alone, I know it's been a strange, unexpected year for many people. Next year is also going to be quite unexpected, I feel. And what I would say is that if you've ended up wherever you are spending this time alone, whether that's been by choice or whether it's been perhaps not of your choosing, I know there's people in all kinds of different positions around the planet right now, I would just say seize the opportunity that you've got, and it really is what you make it. So yeah, I was gonna make a video sharing some of my plans for next year, because I actually just thought it would be kind of funny to try and share some plans for next year, because it's we're still in we're still in interesting times, and I think next year is still, it's a year to just expect the unexpected, and travel is still not an easy thing to do, and we just don't know what's going to happen in the world. So I just thought it would be funny to try and share some plans, and more so for me to look back on and see whether they were able to happen, or how everything ended up unfolding. So I still think it's great to have some direction. Make a plan if you want to make a plan, but don't hold on to anything too tightly. Be willing to be really flexible, and be willing to really let go, and maybe it's not going to be, maybe it will be, maybe it won't be as simple as we think. I was sitting with the lady who I have this Airbnb with. She lives downstairs, and she said something really beautiful to me last night, about, we were actually looking at my astrology chart together. It was really nice. She came up and we ended up just having this chat and looking at astrology stuff. And she said, you know, we were talking about making direction and having plans, and she said, you know, sometimes you can have that direction and have that plan, but you know, you're maybe not always going to get to it like this, here to here. You might end up having to go like this to get there. And I was like, so simple and profound. It's true. So I think we can still have these directions and plans for our life, but just be willing to be flexible. And because I think when we're really inflexible with them and we want to stick to the plan, that's when the challenge can occur, and that's when suffering can happen. So yeah. So to share one of my plans, I'm just going to do it in this video as one of them. The only really big plan I actually have for next year is that I am planning on getting to Peru. A few months ago, I thought that I would be getting on a plane around January or February of this year, like in the first few months of the year, 2021. And I don't know. I don't know what will happen. At this point, I feel like finding this place about a month ago and really settling into this space in the rice fields here in Bali, I feel like I've come to this place of stillness and peace and more clarity, and it's allowed deeper healing and more stillness for myself, and I'm not feeling complete with that. I'm feeling like I've really just started to sink into this and I'm loving it. So I'm not really ready to go at this point. So my plan would be to go to Peru a little later in the year, and probably around anywhere from like June, July, August would be a great time for me to go. I'd definitely like to be in Peru by August. So somewhere between June, July, beginning of August would be the time I'm kind of planning to get there. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope that it can, but Sagittarius is in the South Node. It's not really a year for travel, or any travel that happens could be a little challenging and may have its hoops to jump through. I'm not planning any kind of, I'm not doing short trips, I'm not planning holidays. The intention of Peru is to go for quite a period of time. So this isn't about, I don't even think it's the time to be taking like short overseas trips and holidays. I think it's, yeah, for me, it will be a time of, I'm going to Peru for a specific intention, and to be there for quite some time. And Peru, you know, I lived there for 9 months of my life. I thought I would be living there forever when I first went to live there in 2018, and I ended up back in Byron Bay, and then here I am in Bali, and it's been 2 years since I've been in Peru, and I'm really looking forward to getting there next year if I can. But as I said, it's something that I need to be willing to be flexible with, and really just following my inspiration and following the impulse and following my feeling, and really knowing when to go, when to stay. And you know, I always ask for clarity in my mind and clarity in my heart, and peace in my mind and peace in my heart, and to just be able to clearly know when to go, when to stay. And yeah, that's how I'm going to move forward into the new year. So it's probably nearly 6 o'clock, so I'm going to end this video diary here and go into some rituals and ceremonies and things that I want to do for myself tonight, and see you all in 2021. Yeah, much love. If you're alone, seize the opportunity, and remember, it's what you make it. Much love.